Can you imagine being able to integrate new healthy habits into your life, no matter how busy you think you are, or maybe how stuck you are in your ways? Let me share a strategy that's worked for me, and it is helping me to maintain 21 daily habits without feeling overwhelmed, and that's habit stacking. I'm currently aiming to practice 21 small daily habits that are helping to keep me healthy and to get healthier as I age. And habit stacking is not only making it possible, but it's making it enjoyable. This concept from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, is all about tying new habits to ones that already exist in your day. And then it just makes it easier to integrate them into your day. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you a tool that's helping me to stay on track. So let's dive in. Building new habits or staying consistent with habits that we already have can be a challenge. Our routines may be ingrained and change may feel overwhelming. However, it can be the small, consistent habits, changes that we make that can lead to lasting improvements in our health and well-being, and stacking habits can help with that. Habit stacking isn't about a whole life overhaul. When I heard about the concept of habit stacking, it just made sense to me. Adding small healthy habits, small changes to habits that already existed in my life to make changes over the long haul didn't seem overwhelming to me. So 21 habits may seem like a lot, but none of these are new habits. They're all things that I've done before or wanted to do and just didn't become consistent with. When I wanted to go into this, I actually took a few days just really deciding what habits I wanted to try. So I wanted to do 21 habits for 21 days. I wanted to make these habits easy. So super easy that it was just a no-brainer, especially on their own. It seemed like not even a challenge, but the challenge would be to do all 21 and to do it consistently for 21 days. So each of these habits are simple and they're doable. If 21 habits seems like too much for you because you haven't had the habits in your life, then just start with a few. Maybe just start with a morning routine. In fact, you may have more healthy habits in place than you even realize. If you haven't read the book, then one of the things is that habit stacking makes it easier to implement something new. So our brains love routine, especially as we get older. I think I was so anxious to get back into my habits, to make it structured because I've been out of routine for the summer. So getting back into routine in September was something that I was actually really looking forward to. When you tie a new habit to something that you already do, then your brain accepts that as routine. And this is important because it can be challenging to introduce something completely new into what you do on a daily basis. And by habit stacking, you're giving that new habit a place. Habit stacking makes it easier to stay consistent because you're piggybacking on something that you're already doing. That means you don't need as much discipline or mental effort to do it. And then the third thing is that habit stacking maximizes energy. And I'll admit, my energy isn't always optimal. But with habit stacking, I can maximize my energy because I'm, combining the new habit with something I'm already doing, so it's not overwhelming. And then number 4 is along the same lines with the energy, it maximizes time. These are 21 habits, but they're all very small. So some of them just take a moment. Some of them, the longest one is 15 minutes. But if through the day I kept getting up from my desk to go do, a simple task, and then I came back a half hour later, I went to do something else, that's going to eat up a lot of time. So by habit stacking, I'm getting tasks done, all in one go. Okay, so I'm incorporating 21 habits. So I'll just go through and give you an example of how I do habit stacking to make this possible. First thing I usually do in the morning is I get up and I switch on the coffee maker. So it's conveniently located right outside my bedroom. And then I go to the bathroom and I do my skincare. So I do my skincare, I get dressed, I make my bed, I have a cup of water, I do a 5-minute morning stretch. And then because I've already done my first habit, which was 7 to 9 hours of sleep, I've actually gotten 6 habits done before I've had my morning coffee. So you can see how 21 habits isn't that big a deal. And you may also be thinking, like, those are all basic. That's not a big deal. Everyone does those. And you know what? Not everyone does. And I don't always consistently. So if I'm not careful, because I work at home and, some cold mornings, I may get up, have my cup of coffee, pull a blanket over, and before I know it, I'm, getting into some emails, or I might start to write the outline for a video or something. And I realize, I didn't have water. I didn't make my bed. I didn't get dressed. And here it is, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. So that routine takes me almost no time, but it sets me up for my day. And then I continue to stack. So I will get my morning coffee and I'll have my quiet time. So that will be some scripture reading, prayer, meditation, and I have some affirmations that I say, or I may save those and do them before I start my workday. And then another stack is I intermittent fast. So generally 16 and 8, sometimes maybe 18 and 6. And what I will do then is when I'm getting my oatmeal ready, which is one of my habits, I break my fast with protein and a healthy fat. So I microwave my oatmeal. You can do it however you do it. So when I put my oatmeal in the microwave, the first 30 seconds, I'm getting out the berries and the yogurt. And then the second 30 seconds, I am having that cup of water and my supplements. So 4 habits. I've intermittent fasted, I've had my protein and healthy fats, I've had my supplements, and then another cup of water towards my 8 cups total. And then, there's time in there I could do some heel taps or squats, but I usually keep those, and that goes in my next habit stack. So I call this my movement habit stack. So I've already stretched, and now I don't have one exercise. I don't go to the gym and do exercise. I don't have an hour-long exercise time, but I do small things, and I find again that stacking them helps me. So after my lunch or dinner, or ideally both, I'll go for a 15-minute walk. Now, once I get my shoes on, then I can, if I didn't do my heel taps, I'll do that, or my jump rope, I'll do 100 jumps. And I'll take another cup of water before I go for my walk. Now, this is a great chance to get in another habit, which is to listen to an audio or YouTube for about 15 minutes. So I can do that while I'm walking. So this is something that I do to expand my learning or something of interest. So when I get home from that, if I haven't done this next habit, then while I still have my shoes on, it's about a 15-minute, it's like balance, strength, resistance bands. And I had a cup of water when I got home. So there's 4 habits. So I went for a walk, I listened to audio, I had a cup of water, I did my heel taps or jumps, and I did my exercise. So 5 more habits. So 5 more habits in just over half an hour. Okay, and then I habit stack again. So you could call this your night routine. So I like to turn my phone off, ideally 30 minutes before I go to bed, and hopefully even earlier. I make sure that the kitchen is tidy and I get the coffee ready for the next morning. In the colder months, I like to turn on my electric blanket and make sure that's ready. I didn't count that as 21 habits, but it's something that I enjoy. So then when I'm in the kitchen, and maybe even sometimes I'm making like a ginger tea or something decaffeinated, no caffeine at that close to bedtime for sure. But while the kettle's on, I will get my supplements ready for the next day. I will fill my water jug and have that ready to go for the next day. Then I do my evening skincare and my face fitness. So This is where I'm doing my castor oil. I use castor oil after I do my skincare morning and night. I like to reflect on my day at this time. So I have a journal. I didn't bring it down. And I write down 3 sparks of joy or 3 things that I'm grateful for. I write down my plans for the next day, a little bit of a to-do list, and remind myself of appointments that I might have the next morning. And I like to read a novel, and this is like non-business related. I really make a point of that at bedtime for me, and we're all wired different, but an important part for me in making these habits stick is tracking them. So that's actually number 21 on my list. I'll make sure that I've tracked my habits for the day. I've found that tracking my habits keeps me accountable, and it gives me a visual of my progress. I love check marks. I love crossing things off a list. So this just keeps me motivated in making healthy changes, incorporating healthy habits into my life. And tracking your habits can maybe help you see where maybe you need more focus, or maybe where you've had the most progress. Over time, it becomes incredibly motivating to me because I can see maybe how some of these things that were hard at first are becoming second nature. And this is where my tracker comes in. So I just made this in Canva, and it just keeps me on track. So I'm sharing it with you if you're interested. You can see I'm only on day 2 here because I started over again. But my hope is that you would be able to have the same experience. So there's going to be a link in the description. And if you want a blank habit tracker, then you can just take some time, sit with it, decide, the habits that you want. You don't need 21. You can start with 3 or 4 habits, but it'll be amazing as you start to think about the things that you already do. And for me, as simple as it seems, taking my vitamins, I had a really hard time. So I had to get a little container, and I'll put a little picture of it. And I put my supplements in that at night. I have it sitting on the kitchen counter. Now that I know that while I'm making my oatmeal, I'm taking my supplements, when I have my lunch, I have one that I take for inflammation, and it's no longer an issue. It's a habit that is ingrained. So if you are a list keeper or a tracker like me, then you can download that. If we haven't met, my name's Patty, and I'm from 60 is the New 60. And I know that the saying is 60 is the new 40, but hey, I'm 62 and I'm not trying to be 40. I just want to be healthy, happy, and active, whatever age. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this has helped you, inspired you to make some small, manageable habits that you can incorporate into your day. Remember, it's the small changes that will make a big difference over time, and especially as we age, just remember that you're not too old and it's not too late. If you found this video helpful, then I hope that you would click like. And if you are interested in healthy aging, more positive aging, maybe more about my entrepreneurial journey, you want to start a business over 50, over 60, then please subscribe for more videos. And of course, don't forget to grab your tracker, 21 habits for 21 days. And I hope that it would help you to stay consistent and see progress. The link is in the description below. So again, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.